ago, we talked with Kim Stackhouse-Lawson from the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State about progress made in animal welfare.
So I think the major cultural change that has been the most positive in the beef industry is really the shift from taking injection sites from the rump to injection sites in the neck. And that's something that has been extremely positive, and it's something that has shifted in the entire culture of the industry. So I mean, at this point, when people think about giving shots, it's immediately in the neck. They know. 4-year-olds know, 3-year-olds know. You know, so that's a really positive cultural shift that is more food safety related, but we need to talk about the same kinds of shifts when we talk about animal welfare.
What are the things going forward that you think are the cultural shifts, or how many should people target per year to try and to fix maybe the perceptions that animal welfare is out there? Right,
so animal welfare is a huge topic, and there are many issues that we could, you know, talk about until we're blue in the face. But really, the producers should try to pick 2 to 3 animal welfare issues. Some of the low-hanging fruit are, you know, castrating calves at an earlier age, dehorning calves at an earlier age, guaranteeing heifers into feedlots as being open. You know, real basic things, and 2 to 3 things a year to sort of target and try to change your operations culture to where that is just something innate that you know that you do.
On this show, we've talked a lot about, you know, the 2 different sides, the animal welfare groups that try to go way to the extremes and show things that are probably fairly uncommon. But on the other side of that, how do you protect yourself? As a member of the industry, how do you protect yourself against that?
Well, I think that's a great question. The one thing that we talk about at the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State is really doing a good job documenting your standard operating procedures for your individual operation. The other way to protect yourself is to really document training and to have your people trained through the Beef Quality Assurance Program that was funded by checkoff dollars and is available online through the Animal Care Training website. And so that documentation of standard operating procedures for, you know, things like animal welfare, things like castration, you know, setting a target age where you will castrate, and then having those documented, and then having individuals trained using those SOPs and documented as well is probably the best way to protect yourself.
One of the things that you mentioned today, and I don't think it's been mentioned very much at all, is producers talking to other producers. You know, if you see something wrong on your friend's farm, say something to your friend. Now, counterpoint, what if they don't want to be my friend anymore?
Right. No, I think that's a big issue, and that's really sort of how we talk about that shift of culture. You know, let's go back to the injection sites, because it was a successful shift. You know, if you had a operation and you were still giving injection sites in the rump, and I was your friend, I might say, hey, have you thought about giving them in the neck? Do you know that I had X, Y, and Z fewer discounts when my cattle went to harvest last year? So, you know, not saying you're doing a bad job, but saying these are the things I changed, and I saw improvements from an animal welfare perspective, from a food safety perspective, and also from an economic perspective. So there's sort of an incentive there.
Kim was part of the Animal Welfare Conference held here at UNL in mid-February.